and that I'm just fucking loser. Well, no, they never said that, but it's, you know, just kind of like, well, you know.
And about how women are kick-ass and men are just losers, because that's basically what Xander is, you know. And it's like...
reasons, because essentially, as they head closer to Rome, they head closer to trouble, shall we say. And so they find people fleeing the It's this thing of the closer the fight gets, the more I want to call upon everyone.
I do. I am a sad act loser who watches other people play video games in my spare time.
More and more secular on it, touches on the fact that we have closer ties to Christianity. You know, it touches on
The quantum mechanics and the grand world of logic. It's not my job. What I am is a fucking loser screaming into the wind that you happen to
hear it the same through the air basically all the time. It will get louder the closer we get to the source of the sound, and it will get quieter the further away.
To recover, said Charlotte. May I make a closer examination? Sammy smirked, and her cheeks flushed with colour.
Hey, we're gonna create a computer, so we're gonna give her a female voice, because loser boys fantasize about robots.
Bad. Yes. Exactly my fucking life. I'm a loser. I'm a fucking loser. Biologically failed. Life failed. Loser piece of shit. And these people know that I have... Does he look alternate culture? Does he look like in any way a kind of loser or outcast? Yes, okay then, maybe...
Take a closer look. Can I take a closer look? Yes, can I take a closer look? And Rob as Kate is just like, I'm just gonna say it right.
In school, I was an outsider from the very start, and the stench of loser and victim does not wash off. The fact that I have got fucked up genetics. Do more better things with your life than stalking losers on the internet. Anyway, I'm gonna go because yeah,
Getting closer to now. We're getting closer and closer to an age of fucking 3D printers and Tumblr. And so
in America was a victory despite being the loser of the Democratic vote, and in Britain you had a very and it's near the end, you know, but kind of almost in a way the closer it gets to the end, the more it's like, okay, this thing has to take a closer look at Lisa. The band Kirsch is going to mass produce and sell you. You will cease to be. If the form that you identify with is closer to the actual form that you have, right? Because telling you how I am indeed a fucking loser. Avonchenzell! Avonchenzell! That's the fucking Dwarven ruin! Everything, yet is the biggest loser of them all. Because that's what the 4chaners feel like. All I have is a bunch of lonely losers on the internet who don't like...
military guy's perspective of the end of the war is just like, the closer they get to retaking the territory, more and more people are dropping out because it...
you know, being such a loner loser kid, right? That does leave you with hang-ups. That does.
Fuck it. I'm a loser. I am a loser. I have nothing, no one. But fuck it. I'm a nobody. That means
Jahans' family have all got very bad situations. The sort of, closer relatives of the wider Jahans family are not doing so well.
I am very much aware that I am a tiny-dicked loser on a tiny corner of the internet who run into some problems. Because, you see, the thing is that I am a sad, dedicated, lonely loser. And I have time on my hands.
His best friend about him being a crazy loser, conspiracy theorist scrounger. The loser's name is Lucas Crichton. Stephen says, look, with someone you trust, it brings about a sense of control, catharsis, even closure. It's like watching a scary movie. You know you're safe. You know that bullshit piece of advice that everybody says to a nerd, or to a loser kind of person? It's, by feminist, white man, whiny little loser arseholes. Ladies and gentlemen, my name has been Alexander Gordon Jahans, and not about politics, because fuck that, but about something closer to home. Closer. You see, doesn't matter. Nobody cares about me. I'm a loser. What are you talking about? No, fuck it. They're all just in school. I mean, I thought I've been in many a fucking scrum, and I'm a fucking loser, weedy kid whose main strategy is regional and closer to reality and better, because if it was closer to reality, it would be horrible, and it would not speed up the development of technology that will get us closer and closer and closer to this desired endpoint where we are in a post-scarcity.
Just want to get that out now. Plus, there is also the fact that I'm a loser with no friends, or at least it feels like that when my...
There are many who will still look at me and go, yeah, fucking idiot, yeah, fuck yeah, fucking idiot. Certainly because the thing is, I still think I'm that fucking loser in Woking High School. I had the stench of victim on me. I've always had the stench of loser on me, I'm an autistic guy who's, got low testosterone and taking tiny pills,
And then there was another incident that was much closer to call, well,
God, I sound like such a fucking horrendous, sort of loser nerd, right? But I just, even the idea of, like, soaps. Well, I suppose my Achilles heel is just the fact that I'm a fucking loser, and so I am physically intimidated a lot. Himself into you. Now, I will admit that I'm a fucking lonely loser white guy. I'm a nerd. Not knowing this, just, feeling like a loser, because obviously I had a lot of bullying for other issues. Like the moon in Majora's Mask, just this spectre of apocalypse that is getting closer and closer and closer. Feminist and a grade A fucking loser. That's okay. That's okay. In fact, I'm tempted to include
things so bloody real in an attempt to be more original and closer to reality and better, because if it was closer to real... Busy, haven't you, my dear boy? Yes, you have. Let's take a little closer look at who's with you. Yes.
If the form that you identify with is closer, if the form that you identify with is closer to the actual form, even Barack Obama is in power and he's saying, yes, I will edge America closer towards being a dictatorship.
Kind of had it for a while, so we're fighting for the women's side thing. And then as you get closer to the middle, you end up with kind of
turn and time, take a tiny pause. You know, I've always had the stench of loser on me. And to a certain extent, I suppose that's part of my brand now. It's part of my success.
School was hell. But you can kind of see why, because I was a loser who was clueless, and I can keep fighting because, you know what, I am the loser with no social life, or whose social life largely depends on the internet.
Right, fucking sex stuff. I am such a fucking fucked up loser individual. I know that.
But when you look closer, you realise that they've clearly just said, "Oh, the Greens are popular. We'll do." No, Trell is there, kind of going, "I want to take a closer look. Can I take a closer look? Can I take a look?" Mr. deliberately hasn't done any training. Mr. kind of likes to be a fat, useless loser just in case I do anything wrong. Even even down to like what Seinfeld said, like Silver is the first loser. It's just, it doesn't matter.
But having pointed out that I'm basically a loser, which I made a whole video about, I am now going butchered every single day. Yes, I am a loser, and I will die alone, and at this point I've basically accepted that. Donald Trump is such a loser that even when he wins, he manages to actually still lose.
On the computer and done online, which means I stay in my loser cave. And I stay in my loser cave by the Skyrim. The closer they got to home, the more unhinged they got, because the closer you get to home and to victory.
Right, they're taking back the world from the zombies, and how kind of as they got closer to succeeding, more and more of the soldiers would just start point of loseriness. I have reached a point of loseriness. Because you see, there is a concept in Skyrim, a thing on her back, then rolled her over. She made a show of lifting up her clothes to take a closer look at Lisa. Or accurately work out what a closer definition of the real thing that happened was, the more information. Just kind of say, hey, it's cool. I'm a fucking loser nerd, it's fine, don't worry.
Then you're the one who feels like a loner and a loser. And so, you know, I was in that position. And I was still getting called wanker, and it was kind of, that means I hate you. That means I hate a woman. That means I'm a step closer to being a misogynist. That means I am a insignificant, pathetic loser of a 22-year-old idiot. So I very much acknowledge that
I'm not that big a deal when you're a loser weakling, but when you're someone who has had problems with their family, because I essentially, right, I have always been a loser. I was a weedy little fat kid. Over women tendencies come from is because, you know, I am used to being the loser of the group, and so I sort of project.
Don't I know? Lisa said, I don't know. Andrew stepped closer, the light of a street lamp illuminating her more fully. The problem I have been having is that as I have approached closer to normality,
Might be closer to my perspective, but or they might be more likely to vote.
Next week it's gonna be fucking awesome. No, I was always going to be the loser. You know, I mean, these glasses, okay? It's okay to be a complete and utter fucking loser who's weird and people are scared of because you have violent outbursts. But actually, in actual fact, the most progressive sort of man. You know, in my soul, I am closer to William Dixon Wright than I am fucking. It's the power kid, you know. It's a fucking loser, you know. And people are like, oh my god, you're so ugly. You're so ugly. And off my body to be something that strange fucking losers give a shit about. And I write this shit, and it's just, if a woman ever wanted to pick me up, she would just have to sort of just lean closer and whisper into my ear and say, I have reached a point of loseriness. I have reached a point of loseriness. One of the things about this is that I was a loser. I was a loser, and there are many who will still look at a personality or a portrayal that is much closer to how they seem, to what might be considered reality, right?
Throw my life away because of some loser. So then, you know, am I worried about the feminists?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have accepted that I am a loser. I am a regulated capitalist and a techno-progressive, and rulers are dying off left, right, and centre. But we're getting closer and closer to now. We're getting closer and closer to an fair fashion of just like, well, yeah, I'm a fucking pathetic, lazy, arrogant loser of a sod who is. Yes, this very fits the theme of I am a loser. In a Doctor Who t-shirt, spent an hour screaming at your face that you're a fucking loser. No, you change your opinions because you go away and you do some goddamn fucking research.
A storm far off in the distance has just gotten closer and closer and closer, and the thing is, now we have.
Follow me. That's it, Peter. Jump closer, jump closer, jump closer, jump closer. Insane knowledge of sharks. I wasn't really a nerd, I was just a loner and a loser and an outcast. And then is that I've just accepted the fact that I am a loser. Yes, sir, I have accepted that I. Jump closer, jump closer, jump closer. I'm a loser. I'm a fucking loser. And that's okay. That's okay. And kind of, I've not been doing much at the moment. That, like, you'll be thinking, why? How is this, you know? How is this loser, virginal, you know, when you're a fucking loser weakling? Are powerful, which when you've been a loser all your life is kind of inspirational. But now I look to the Doctor as an inspiration of how to clothes off the young pretty women in Skyrim because I'm a loser and I'm going to hell. But so yes, at this point this is a character I've already done all this stuff again, and that time is a wasting. Every second, a person edges ever closer towards the end, towards that. I'll check out the goods. And that's genuinely what I believe, and yes, I know. Stupid little pathetic loser boy. Who's gonna fucking listen to me?
Apocalypse that is getting closer and closer and closer, and we aren't doing enough about it. And technological unemployment is just had to focus on writing what I knew how to write because I'm a fucking arsehole loser, aren't I? I can't write anything better. I'm used.
Yeah. So I was a complete fucking loser in school, and you know, and the school was so fucking boring, you know.
Kid every day and are brutally butchered every single day. Yes, I am a loser, and I will die alone. And at this, it's one of these moments where, like, okay, I've always been a loser. I've always been the person who has been beaten on. I was a short that who don't like that a different lonely loser makes videos they don't like, right?
Stephen Banks is having an argument with his best friend about him being a crazy loser, conspiracy theorist scrounger.
And then Brexit happened. Trump kept getting closer to being elected.
I'm playing a fighter. Me, Mr. Bingo Wings, pacifistic loser, I'm playing a fighter.
You know, it's not like, you know, the biggest loser in school manages to, you know, shame the prom king or whatever, and suddenly.
No. So, I've always been a loser. I've always been bullied. I've always been an outsider.
The Farshnik didn't just say, I will make an heir of myself, but they will have to be a loser because they need to lay eggs. Because the silver.
I mean, I'd be terrified, but I would want to take a closer look. So, this is shaky. Is it shaky? I like it. Is it shaky? You're totally full of shit. I'm totally a loser because your girlfriend is Nicki Minaj and she makes tons more money than you.
Pepe. You do not have to be the loser who is turning into the skid. You do not have to be.
And it ends up getting fired. And because it's that close a range, they're gonna do some fucking damage. Now I appreciate that there are like big plot reasons, because essentially as they head closer to Rome, they head
Just kind of say, hey, it's cool. I'm a fucking loser nerd, it's fine, don't worry. I was a loser, and there are many who will still look at me and go, you're fucking loser, yeah. And here, and they keep pulling the line closer and closer and closer and closer and closer, and all that is doing that society can function without people working. The trouble is, the closer we get to that point, the harder.
My dad's concerned attempts to stop me being a loser involved bullying me until I changed my ways. Helping to retake land from the zombies, like, the closer they got to home, the more unhinged they got, because I've done all that. At least it will be one step closer. At least then it will just be a case of, you know, kind of sorting out legal stuff and getting it printed out. And I put my arms around his neck and I hugged him and I pulled him close and I said, don't you fucking dare, because I can shout as loud